It is Monday, May 16th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our favorite run line, player prop, and no run first inning coming your guys' way.
Hey, as always, guys, you know to hit that subscribe button, especially, guys, if you are new. Austin and I are going to be doing these picks videos all baseball season long. We're going to be holding down the fort, especially when the NBA does end, because it will end eventually. Sorry, NBA bettors out there. Austin and I got you covered. Also, do us a favor and drop a like on this video. It really helps us, too.
I agree 100%, Logan. And let's hop straight into a recap, a third straight profitable day. And you know what? Who does, I would love to get back on the track of bringing out the brooms, but I'm not going to complain with another 2-in-1 day that we see here. We had Astros minus 0.5 in the first 5. Took a little 2 runs in the top of the 5th to get it done. A little bit of sweating in the bottom, but we'll take it. Cortez goes under 5.5 strikeouts. Shout out to the White Sox for swinging at everything yesterday. And he pitched 8 innings. You're never going to cash a player prop under if you're going 8 innings deep. But Detroit Tigers, Baltimore Orioles, no run first inning. We waved the flags in the chat. You'll love to see that. We're going to keep rolling with it. What are we? 24-13 on no run first inning bets. Let's keep it going today. Shout out again to all our COS All-Stars out there. If we've been helping you make some money, a little bit 3-day winning streak. Last day went on a 3-day winning streak. We went up to, I think, 8 or 9 days. So hopefully we can continue that streak. But if you want to become an All-Star, click the join button on the channel or the link in the description. Our newest All-Stars, we got John finally figuring out how to become an All-Star. Always commenting on our stuff. We appreciate you, John, for supporting the community. And welcome back to the Calling Our Shot All-Star group. But thank you guys all for your support. My last note before we hop in, our parlay of the day is live on OddsJam. Last week the parlays didn't do too well. Feeling a new slate this week. I think we're going to get back onto the winning track today. So go check it out. First link, top of the description. You won't be disappointed. It's on OddsJam. So go our sponsor for the videos. But Logan, without further ado, it's time for your first pick. You've been hitting a couple in a row. I've been selling the sweep. So give us another winner, and I'll try to pick it up today.
Hey, that's all right. That's why we're always preaching. We just can't get cold at the same time. We need to balance each other. And I'm feeling really good about this one. We're going to the Rockies versus Giants series, and I'm taking Rockies run line plus 1.5 at minus 115 odds on DraftKings. I mean, look, honestly, when you're picking run lines, number one, I don't want anything juiced, and then number two, is it favorable, right? Sure, I'll take the Rockies plus 1.5. I think they might even win outright in this game. I'm not calling that. So don't come after me if the Rockies lose. But I think they should be able to cover this 1.5 and not lose by 2. These 2 starting pitchers faced off May 10th, and San Francisco won 9-2. It was a no sweat bet if you had Giants in this one. But I don't believe the same result's going to happen today. This is also baseball. You cannot simply go off of what they've done. You have to project where they're going, right? Senzatella in that game also, yeah, he hurt us real good. I mean, we had Rockies first 5. I remember it sadly. Senzatella, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, and a 2.45 whip versus San Francisco last time they faced May 10th. Look, I mean, he's pitching again today, and he's due a real bounce back performance. His home ERA, what's encouraging is he's at home, in this one. 2.37 home ERA, compared to whatever, the heck he was doing in San Francisco. So he's at home. He should be more comfortable. Pitchers pitch a lot better at home. Now, Senzatella aside, we're also going to have to sweat the Rockies bullpen. I'm just coming out and saying that right now. So, when we're in the 7th, 8th inning, Rockies bullpen is like dead last in bullpen ERA. So we're going to have to sweat that, unfortunately. But if we can get through it and get out, relatively unscathed, I think we'll stand a pretty good chance. Look, San Francisco, only 14th in batting average on balls in play. So middle of the pack. It's not like their offense is setting the world on fire. I'll tell you how the Rockies offense is doing in a sec here. But San Francisco's offense, pretty hit or miss. I mean, some games they show up, some games they don't. We're going to test their ability to travel on the road today. And who's pitching for San Francisco? Scheduled to be Wood. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, but a 1.69 whip versus Colorado last time these 2 teams faced, and these 2 teams, starting pitchers faced as well. So you look at earned runs, and I'm telling you, earned runs is not always an indicator of how good a pitcher is. That 1.7 whip, he was putting runners on base. He was having some somewhat stressful innings, right? The batters definitely were putting some stress on Alex Wood. And I think they're going to do so again. Colorado is batting 284 at home and 301 versus left-handed pitchers. Wood is a lefty, and Colorado's smoking left-handed pitchers. It's no secret about it. They love to see them. And also we pulled some of the hitting splits versus Wood. Blackman, 433. McMahon, 313. Crone, 400. Connor Joe, 333. All versus Alex Wood. to see a team like this all hit a starting pitcher pretty well, and coming off a time where they didn't hit him well, if it's going to be 2 in a row, I'll just eat my humble pie on this one. But I think they're due to finally get some hits and runs up on him, especially playing at home. Rockies also. This is an interesting stat. I told you San Francisco was 14th on batting average on balls in play. Colorado, 309 on batting average and balls in play. That's first in the MLB. So that's putting the balls, where the defense isn't. It's, in any sort of, contact, just, getting some runners on base, putting the ball in play. In baseball, that's, sometimes hard to do. It's a lost art. And I think the Rockies obviously specialize in it, especially at home, right? Lastly, this is just kind of the narrative. San Francisco coming off a Sunday night baseball beatdown, and they're traveling, right? They're traveling to Colorado. They just had a really rough game last night, kind of like the Phoenix Suns, right? San Francisco, Phoenix, neither of them knew that they had a game yesterday, honestly. But I think the Rockies cover this run line for us today. I think it's a close-ish game. Maybe even went outright, but I'm taking the Rockies run line at -115. Love the value there. Austin, you got a player prop for us. It's one of my this pitcher makes me laugh whenever he's on the mound. Who you got for us?
Yes, we are back with another player prop for today. Now, I will admit, I forgot to pull up Odds Jam. Logan's got -115 on DraftKings. Now, when I go to my play, it's going to be an interesting one. There are a lot of good options in Logan's game, but I don't want to double dip. I want to go to a different game, give you some different analysis. We're going to Texas Rangers. We're taking Jon Gray, and we're taking his under 5.5 strikeouts on -122 on FanDuel. Now, the reason sometimes I don't love doing these videos super early is because we don't get a lot of lines, and I hate giving out this Jon Gray line at 5.5, and then what if it goes down to 4.5? I already know the comments will be there, but let's talk about Jon Gray and kind of think about how he's doing so far. So he has had this season 4, 3, and 4 strikeouts for Gray. So obviously he's gone under in all 4 of his starts. A little bit suspect to see a line at 5.5, but you know what? Maybe they're banking on, what the Angels did yesterday, because yesterday they absolutely swung at everything they could. They didn't hit anything. They're coming off a 15 strikeout game, 12 by the A's starter Montes. They couldn't hit anything. And so the last time we saw the Angels strike out double-digit times, they only struck out the following game 4 times. And you imagine no player likes to strike out. So I would imagine, I'm hoping at least the Angels are like, we got to be a little bit more plate disciplined. And a guy that struggles with control of his pitches, that would be Jon Gray himself. Now we look at the Angels so far, 14 of the last 25 pitchers have gone under 5.5 Ks versus the Angels. So when you look at it, 11 have gone over, but 9 of the 11 guys to go over and hit this 5.5, 6K line at least, they face 20 plus batters. A lot of those facing 22, 24. That's not the number of guys that Gray has been pitching. He's really doing a lot of pitches per plate appearances, and he's only pitched against 16, 20, 15, and 17 batters. So if he stays in that same, 17 to 20-ish range, him to strike out 6 of those, 18-ish guys, that's 33% strikeout percentage. It's a pretty high number. Gray's pitch count, not that high. He's only pitched 77, then 60, 77, and 70. So if he's going to stick in that 70 to 80 range, then I'm all in for this. Now, the one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, this is his first home start. All of those 4 starts were on the road. He's obviously one of their prized free agents this offseason. And so maybe, something in the Texas area, he starts pitching a little bit better in Texas, but I'm hoping that's not the case. And we look at the Angels, a very good offense. They do strike out a good amount. I mean, you just saw those numbers, but they're 6th in hits, 6th in batting average, 6th in on-base percentage, 2nd in slugging, 8th in walks per game. They got a lot of guys that can get on base. They have a lot of guys that have good splits against Jon Gray himself. So I'm going to go with Jon Gray, taking his under 5.5 strikeouts. I think the line's a tad high. If it were 4.5, I likely would avoid it, but I think the 5.5 at -122 value, not too juiced. There's not really a lot of player prop unders, at least for hitters that we can take right now, but I really like this one, and that's what I'm going to be riding with. Now, Logan, the best time, though. It's time. It's time for the best segment everyone loves. Get them out.
Go.
The NRFI Nation time. We are on a good streak. I think we've cashed, 3 in a row? We love to see that. We're going, 24 and 13 on the year. And today, we're going for a little bit of plus value because we are going to the Astros versus Red Sox. And we're taking the no-run first inning in that game. I'll pull it up on Odds Jam real quick before we get into our analysis. You can see we have plus 102 on FanDuel. That's the book we're grinding with. Then we got -115, on a couple other books. But great value here on FanDuel, plus 102. Let's talk about this one, though. Odorizzi on the mound for the Astros. 3.38 ERA. He does have 11 walks. We don't love seeing that. We're like, oh, no. The worst thing I like to watch in a NRFI when we have it is when they keep walking people, and you're just like, at least throw a strike. Make them hit the ball. But no, he has 11 walks, so we don't love that. 1.24 whip, not terrible, but a good stat on our side. Red Sox, only second fewest walks in the MLB. They're not a team that walks on. They're swinging to get on base. And ask Bobby Dahlbeck that he never. I don't know if he's ever gotten a walk, but either way, Boston, he's not going to be up in the first three. But Boston does draw the third fewest walk or second fewest walks. They're also 23rd in first inning runs. So they have a lot of guys that might get on base, but really struggling to hit them in. Odorizzi, 3 for 6 on the NRFI, but he started off hitting the Yerfy 3 straight, gone NRFI 3 straight. Hopefully he can make that 4 straight. We don't go back to the Yerfy strategy. What about the other side, Logan?
I feel good about the other side. It's scheduled to be Whitlock. Whitlock, 2.19 ERA, only 6 walks, and a 0.93 whip, which we love to see. Again, any whip under 1, pretty solid. If you don't know, Whitlock, ex-bullpen guy, they've transitioned him more into a more heavier workload kind of starting pitcher role. Astros also 21st in first inning runs. So it's not like they're setting the world on fire either in these games. Let me tell you, as I picked the first 5 in the Astros yesterday, I was like, just please hit Corbin. Please get me some runs. So it took finally to the 5th inning for them to finally get some runs. So even though they have, good averages, even though these are great hitters at the top of the Astros order and even Red Sox order, some of these teams just really struggle to get it going early. And Whitlock, also an ally of NRFI Nation, 4 on no run first innings this year. So I mean, he's been pitching really well. Knock on wood. Hopefully he continues the NRFI streak as well, and we'll cash that one. Now I know we're going to get a lot of comments, probably a lot of asks about potentially other games. The Yankees Orioles one is one we highly considered, but when you're picking no run first innings, I don't think you can just switch your brain to autopilot mode and just keep picking the NRFI against the teams that are just constantly NRFIing. Like, I mean, you can try that strategy, but they're eventually due, right? And I especially think the Yankees, with the top of their order, they're due some runs for sure. Not so much Baltimore, but I'm just saying at like minus 120-ish value when we're recording this, seems like a trap. Just saying, that's why we didn't pick it. But it's definitely one that I wouldn't yell at you if you did go for it on that one. But Austin, we're flying this flag again. We're making it 4 in a row. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's plus value. So hopefully we can get that done. Yeah. Those are our 3 plays of the day. We're going the Astros, Red Sox, NRFI. We're going John Gray under 5.5 strikeouts. And we're going Rockies plus 1.5. Make sure you go check out our parlay of the day on OddsJam. Top link in the description. We appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. We're back for some more NBA videos. I think tomorrow we have some games. So enjoy this MLB one while we're still cooking. We'll see you guys tomorrow.